Looking forward to rocking this roundtable with everyone. It is December 18th, 2024. Excited to be here with all of you guys as we're rounding up. Oh man, it's good to see Robert Wallace. So good to see him, brother.
Back at you, buddy. You too, man. It's been a
Mr.
while.
McCann, you've been a while. Got love the background, fantastic background. You got your screen pumping. I see. Billiam, what's happening? Danielle, what's going on? Dylan, Jonathan, Danny Leah, what's up, buddy? You in Florida? You in Florida?
No, I just got back from Texas last night.
Cool. Cool. Safe driving, bud. Safe driving, bud.
Hearing that feedback again, Judd.
Is there feedback? Are you guys getting a lot of feedback on my system right now, or is it pretty good?
I'm good.
Cool. I think it was coming through Dan's Bluetooth
better.
potentially. All good in the hood. Fantastic. Well, let's get this party started. Good to be here with you all. It is, as we said earlier, December 18th, 2024. We are right in the kind of final innings of Q4. I think we'd all agree that the year is winding. Is it winding down or is it kind of winding up? I guess that depends on rate. Frankly, we're not slowing down until it really is kind of that Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But other than that, we're rocking around the clock, man. We've got dreams to accomplish and make happen. So as some team members go and take some downtime, we've got other team members that are in filling gaps. So we're always pushing that envelope towards our goals. When we set out for our goals, we like to get as close as we can to achieving them. Who here, by the way, raise your hand if you do set goals for yourself. You guys set any goals? Might know them as rocks also, or depends how you operate as a business person, I guess. But I think it's always easier. I find personally, I don't know, I'd like to take a vote on this, but like, do you find that sometimes these marathon goals can be sometimes challenging to maybe accomplish? You find marathon goals way down the line, these 1 year goals, you find those maybe a little bit harder than those sprint goals that you might be setting for yourself? So we break it up into quarters here at AK, right? We break it up into 4 quarters, and during each quarter we have rocks. We have our annual rocks, but we've got our quarterly rocks as well that we're focusing on. And so we're in the kind of 2025 planning stages right now. And I'll tell you that I spent most of the day with our CEO and just digging deep into big questions that we're uncovering as to what we're going to be investing our time on with our teams. So raise your hand if you've spent any time thinking about 2025 coming up. Yeah, cool. And so like, what I'd love to do is I'd love to go around the board and just kind of open this up to a roundtable discussion. But before we do, of course, you've got the reactions down at the bottom of your screen here in Zoom that you can put your thumbs up, hands up, or whatever you desire. And then, of course, you can also chat with people individually or here as a complete team. Don't hesitate to ask any questions. The only silly question is the one unasked, right, Jared? That's 100% accurate. We know it. But yeah, listen, we're here to open up the roundtable here as we're going through the balance of 2024, getting charged up for 2025. So why don't we think about or write this down on a piece of paper? What's the number one number that you're thinking about for your business in 2025? Write that down. What's my number one number that I'm thinking about in 2025? And I'll give you some ideas, right? Some people think revenue. Some people think cost per acquisition. Some people think lifetime value. Some people think number of orders per customer. Revenue per customer annually. There's a lot that I'm kind of throwing on a lot of different darts I'm throwing on a board here. But what is your number one number going into this year? Love for us to share that around the roundtable. If are you guys cool with sharing maybe a little thought around this? Is that cool with you guys? Yeah, cool. Let's do it. Anybody have anybody know what their number one number is going into 2025 for their business? Let's do it, Mark Aller. Let's go, bud.
I'm gonna go for $1 million and I'm gonna use the formula on AK dash.
Awesome. So do you have a clear roadmap attached to that $1 million selection inside AK dash?
No, but I am getting the picture that I need to be filling the pipeline and I'm going out and hitting the pavement.
So that yellow brick road starting to shape up on that revenue roadmap that you're referring to, like basically number of quotes that you need to put out, what your conversion rate, quote to sale is, GP, gross profit attached to them as well.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see the possibilities but I've got work to do.
We all do, right? Let's do it, man. Let's do it. There's something really cool actually about what we're speaking about right now. You ever heard of somebody saying, I want to do $1 million a year in revenue? You ever hear that before?
Yeah.
You ever hear someone say, I want to do 5 million in revenue? Yeah. I've heard people say all kinds of numbers, but when it comes down to it, it's like, again, revenue is vanity, cash is sanity. So let's keep that in mind. That's a good thing that you could write down and put on a bumper sticker. I'd put it all over my bumper stickers and remember that. Not every deal is a good deal, right, Mark?
Well, yeah, that's true. Not every deal is a good deal. Not every pavement is a good one that we want. I'm learning that too.
Exactly. It's interesting when we're first building our business and we're trying to fill our pipelines and get really, really busy out there. It's amazing the work that we sometimes take on that might not be the best work to take on. But there better be some good strategy as to why you're taking it on, right, David? Like maybe marketing could be building some evangelists, some testimonials. I watch you. I see you.
That could help. Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else? Number one number? Your number one number for your business in 2025. Billy Allis?
So it's a number like 100,000, small for some of y'all, but I also work full time after I got out. And the reason why I say 100,000 is that it'd be equipment upgrades. So that 100,000 can go back into the business, whether it be getting the 750 Air Boss. It's on the target list. So that's about 30. I want to get a striper. So the upgraded Greco striper I want is I think I talked it with Matthias a few weeks ago. It's 200 DC. It's about 25,000 plus a driver, which is another 10,000. So 35,000 for a nice striping setup upgrade, and keep my Titan for the like small parking lots and keep it so I don't have to change color so much. So the 200 DC head you can do dual color, and then that third one can be for ADA. And then upgrade a trailer situation instead of having to lug everything in the back of the truck. So that in itself is roughly going to be around 65 to 70,000, depending if get used or new, and plus financing charges. So it's roughly going to equal about out to 100,000. That's my goal.
So you want your take home to be after taxes or pre-taxes, you want to be around that 100K as take home to be able to reinvest in the business. So you're shooting for a revenue number that's probably around 250 to 300. Is that right?
Give or take. If the math.
Do it, dude. You can do 250 to 300. I know you can do that.
Well, hey, I put it this way, Judd. The one job I'm doing that I locked down that we're doing for that track, that's 30,000, that one job. But I just ordered I've been telling you a while for the infrared. Glenn called me after I ordered this weekend. He's like, hey, thank you for the purchase. I was like, yeah, I had to I locked down the job, and the job is part of the job is of the big project is going to cover the infrared, the crack, the RY10 Pro, and the hedge track cleaner. So that's just building my little tools in my toolbox, and then once I complete the other part of the job, I'll use that money as a down payment for the upgraded striper, and then eventually, hopefully in the next 6 months, before seal coat season starts back again, hopefully I can get a nice trailer. Hopefully.
Beautiful, man. Definitely connect. Let's make sure that your revenue roadmap's set up in Dash as well. We want to make sure that we're pointing in the right direction to help you achieve those dreams, brother. Deal? Deal. We appreciate you, bro. Number one number. Anyone else? Zach, have you thought about your number one number? Number one number for your business? The number one thing you're thinking about?
Yeah, I have, and it's changed a little bit because we are looking to start paving this year. So
self-performing or performance partners?
Self-performing. Because
Nice.
we've tried performance partners, and man, we just haven't had a lot of luck. I've reached out to several companies, and it's either slow response time or they won't give me the time of day for whatever reason, trying to hand them work. And same. So
you know how to pave, Zach?
Not yet, but I didn't know how to stripe or seal coat either. So
we know some people. We know some people. Yeah, because you're in Texas, right?
right. Yep. East Texas.
Cool. Cool. I know someone else on here who might be interested in Texas once you're set up. Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably a good connection down the line, and once you get rocking and rolling, because building a business, of course, you want to make sure that you have as many of the right sales that are coming in the pipeline for you to grow as rapid as you can. Hyper growth is 40%, by the way. If you guys want to know what hyper growth is in a business, it's 40% growth on top line. Obviously, achieving profits is an important thing, but yeah, number one number. So what is it? Is it growing your revenue, Zach? Is that your number one number? Or is it profit?
I would say overall profit, but I'd like to grow the revenue as well, both, but profit first.
Cool. I think just to throw this a little food for thought on here. Do you think that a profitable business contributes to enterprise value for your business? Raise your hand if you agree that the more profitable your business, the more value you develop from an enterprise perspective. Okay, cool. Who here agrees that lifetime value has significant impact on your enterprise value? Who here believes that lifetime value that has predictable profits in it will drive enterprise value? Who here thinks that ARR, annual reoccurring or monthly reoccurring models, could be very attractive to your enterprise value? If I was buying a company, and it's important to put your shoes on, right, as a buyer, because you should always be building your companies to sell them, right? So if you were a buyer sitting at a table looking at purchasing a company, what would be some of those things that I would be looking at in order to actually acquire a business? Any ideas of what I would be looking at? Bill McCann.
It's always based on EBITDA. You value the cash flow, for especially in contracting businesses, and then you apply a multiplier.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody familiar with, it's pronounced differently by a lot of us. EBITDA. It's, anybody familiar? Raise your hand if you're familiar with EBITDA. Okay. If you're not, please write it down on a piece of paper, EBITDA. I think there's a D in there too. You guys are supposed to say I'm funny. Come on, guys. But write it down, research. It's an important one. I'll tell you this, when you go through valuations with your companies, guys, if you ever do that down the line, what I just want you to make sure of is that your multiplier and your EBITDA should be very different than the average asphalt maintenance or paving company. Please, please, please make that happen. Don't just be the 2 multiplier. Don't be a 2 multiplier on your EBITDA. And the reason why is a lot of the time your liquidation of your assets in your business are more valuable than what your EBITDA is at a 2-time multiplier. So be very cautious. And so how do we actually increase the multiplier ratio on your EBITDA? What would be some of those things that we could do in 2025 to maybe add another multiplier onto our existing business? What do we think in a private equity or another firm that was coming in or another company that was coming in to buy us? What would be one of those things that they would want to see other than profitability, obviously? What would be another thing they'd want to see?
Higher average project.
Average project size,
Lifetime
Yeah.
value of customer.
lifetime value of customer. Would they want to make sure that your business was on a system and had processes with SOPs that were well and fine tuned, that was a machine business versus a hand crank business?
Who doesn't want to look through a stack of napkins? Really? Come on.
Raise your hand if you're actually if you're leveraging a CRM right now. Not trying to pitch you on Dash, by the way. I think you all should be on Dash, but if you're not on Dash, be on something else. All I'm saying is a customer management system is very important. Who here believes that a customer management system with a pipeline is important? Like an actual sales pipeline to understand where you are in the different sales life cycle stages. Lead, sales qualified lead, pavement assessment, proposal, close won, close lost.
The only way you'd ever say no is if you weren't a sales guy. And if we're all supposed to be sales guys, how else are you going to track it?
Dylan McCann and I were speaking about this earlier. What kind of businesses are we really building here? But let's not share what our discussion yet. Any ideas? What kind of businesses are we building here, team? Honestly, genuinely, what kind of business are we building? Anybody know? Zach, you're coming off mute.
Marketing.
And
Sales.
who said that?
I did.
What are we
Sales and
building?
marketing. Sales and marketing.
So we're building marketing and sales businesses that provide asphalt maintenance services or paving services or striping services or HVAC services. At the end of the day, when we do a really good job at building out the face of our business, a marketing engine that creates the social proof you need and generates the leads that are needed. And then you have your sales processes tuned and your people truly trained and yourself on how to communicate really effectively about solving people's problems and over delivering on that value. We've now built the marketing and sales engine, the face of the business, the voice of the business, and now we can sell anything that we want. We can monetize. See, it doesn't matter what we're really selling. It matters whether what we actually are selling is what we believe in, and we can actually build those engines out so that we can actually create and unfold the dreams that we want in our life. The cool thing is that we've happened to stumble on this absolutely freaking awesome industry called asphalt in the north and asphalt in the south. But like, we've stumbled on an industry that is a giant. Who here agrees that we're like, this is a giant in front of us? Honestly, it's huge. And it's not driveways only, right? Commercial parking lots, hospitals, school districts, municipal. I mean, it's everywhere. And what happens with asphalt, guys?
It
Needs
degrades.
maintenance.
David, tell us all about it, man.
About asphalt degrading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it breaks. It breaks in different ways, and then the good thing is that there's a different service to tackle each and every way that it breaks, whether it's you know, a crack that needs to be routed and sealed, or if it breaks beyond that, you need a cutout and patch, or if it's just completely shot and you need to rip it up and repave it. And like Judd really hit home, it's building those marketing systems where once you get that fine tune, any one of these services you can sell, because sales is all the same once you get the process down. And once you get that down, it doesn't really matter what service you can sell it.
It's a beautiful thing. You know, I hear a lot of the time, Dylan and I were actually having a conversation earlier about this same thing that we're speaking about right now. But it's like, if you hire a web design company that just designs websites, but has no understanding of the content that needs to be on that site, along with the architectural persuasion and wireframing in order to drive call to actions that are meaningful for your business, and you're just hiring a company to just build that pretty site, I just want you to know that that pretty site will not perform like an online business would if you had someone that was, or a company that was actually specialized in building online businesses that are lead generation machines and also create the social proof that's needed. It's a completely different beast. Web design, like, would we agree that someone who paints a home is very different than an architect? It's dramatically different. And so when we're doing our stuff, we have to be thinking about this, right? When we're building our IP, when we're building our marketing engine, think about what it is that we're investing our money into. If we're doing it on our own, we better be going to YouTube University. We better be learning about this stuff and building it on our own. But if you're hiring someone to do this for you, please don't just go hire someone to build something that just looks pretty for you. Build something that's meaningful, that actually has impact on the value of your enterprise. It's super important, team. When you go and build out your CRM, when you're working with a CRM, don't just go in and add contacts in there. Get the proper training and go underneath the hood to learn about the true importance of the different things that have been created in the CRM to drive more results for your business that yet again has impact on your enterprise value. The processes and systems inside of your engine that you guys are building, it's really, really, really important that you do that at a level of excellence. And so, you know, don't think that you have to do this all tomorrow. Just make sure that you're connecting with the right people that actually genuinely care about you to move that needle forward. And I want you to know, like at AK, our whole team is here for you guys, regardless of whether you choose us or not. We're here for you. We want to make sure that you guys are super, super successful with what it is that you're doing. 2025 is a year that we're all going to grow, but we've got to dive into the processes and systems to build those marketing engines and those sales engines so that we can actually achieve the goals that we set out for. And if your goal, by the way, I'm going to push each and every one of you, if any of your goals are, I'm going at this full time and I want to do a couple $100,000 in revenue, I just want you to know you're shooting too low. If you're going full time into this, if you're weekend warrioring, I think that you could absolutely shoot for anywhere from that 150 to 250 range for sure. But remember, we're in a numbers game. Every business is a numbers game. It's just putting together the puzzle and then executing on it. And understanding some weather patterns. I've been rambling a ton. Let's open this up to questions.
I got a question.
Let's do it, bro.
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of trying to set up my web page and get my social media marketing thing, all up to par. As far as setting my website, is it to a point to where you want it to provide a lot of information on that website? Is there a limit to where you don't want to overwhelm the customer with a bunch of clicky buttons, or You know, want to keep it short and sweet? Do you want to monologue it? As far as, you know, putting the information out there for your website in order for it to grab attention, you know, you don't want to bore the customer, but you want them to, you know, see what you provide and, you know, okay, yeah, I might like this, and, you know, keep it short and sweet, or do you want to really have them delve like really deep into what you're doing?
Great question. Anybody want to jump in on that?
Sorry, I'm technologically an idiot. But you just saw my wife come in here and say, I was like, I can't hear anybody, or I mean, I can hear y'all, but anyway. And I'll make this short, Judd. I'm not gonna do a diatribe. Man, you gotta have your family involved. Whether it's, hey, honey, I've got to get up at 6 a.m. to go to work, and I'll pick my daughter up at 3, or whatever it is. You got to keep your family in this. You're in it to win it, okay? And so, by the way, Judd, sidebar, Glenn and I talked a bunch today, so we're good there. But anyway, you got to have your family involved. My daughter, who just turned 13, she runs traffic control for me. If that's not family bonding, and she sees what I do, if that's not family bonding, I don't know what the heck is. But she goes, oh my gosh, I don't need to be doing this, but I do, because I love it. And I'm tied with a good company. I've built good companies and this and that, but you've got to have your family involved, or they got to be knowledgeable of what you're doing and why you're doing it. You've got to do it for them and yourself. I'm out, Judd. Sorry.
You're good, man. And by the way, you do have 100%. I'm going to spotlight it. You have the coolest sweater tonight by far.
Oh, no, you haven't seen the whole thing.
Nice, man. So, yeah, and speaking about family, like I'll tell you, like on your website, what I would do personally, for those of you that may know me, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or those places, you're gonna see, man, my children are an important part of the journey, and we're not shy. We're okay with having that be a part of the journey and inspiring others. What I would say on your website is be truly authentic, man. Like make sure that you're using trust colors that are great colors. I wouldn't have a site that was built that was going to be, a bright red stop logo on my site, right? I would recommend that you use some great colors that match your brand. If you don't have a brand yet, you should probably start developing some brand identity and look at what your core values are first and what kind of culture you want to develop. There you go. That's right. I love it, man. That's fantastic. It's great. And so your website, if I was going to give you advice on this thing, man, I would just say don't limit yourself to striping. I would say that it's okay to offer striping services, but the reality of it is you guys should all be pavement asset management companies, really, because that doesn't limit
Well, actually,
that's striping.
Well, on my Facebook, that's what I have it set up as, a pavement management company. The B6 Striping and Services is kind of like the beginning name that I started out with. But I do have that we are a pavement, management, pavement assessment management company on my Facebook. Yep. And then I am trying to offer other services outside of striping. That was just my basis to start from. As I get more, machines more talented in what I'm doing, I'll be able to branch off and do a lot more. That was my plan.
You ever seen any testimonials on AK? David, I'll bring on. You guys ever see any testimonials or any success stories around Asphalt Kingdom? Raise your hand if you've seen success stories at AK. Honestly, yeah, everybody probably, right? And so are we getting echoes, guys, from my mic right now? Or are we good? We're good. So I would say that, video testimonials and those kind of customer experiences that you're going to be able to bring onto your site that bring real people, just like the people that you'll hopefully be attracting to come do business with you. You want you definitely don't want to hesitate there. Have your customer wall of fame. Really, really important for your business. David, you were going to say something? Rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, asking about the website and what you should have on it. The success I had with web stuff and website is like when you're looking at a website, look at it not in the way as someone searches for you and comes across your website. Look at it from a way where someone's searching for the services that you offer and then they find your website, right? Because if they're looking up your brand and they just come to your website and it looks really cool, all you really have is like an online portfolio, pretty much, right? You're not going to, I mean, maybe through referral you can get some new customers, but the way that you build it out is look at it as like a bunch of different flyers. So every page, like Judd said, offer more services, and each page is dedicated to a different service that you offer. And that way, when you optimize it this way, anytime someone searches for striping near me, they come to your striping page, and then you keep it as relevant as possible, right? So it's all about relevancy. That's I mean, what I've noticed. That's what the web stuff has done for me.
Judd, if I could chime in here,
Absolutely.
this is Al, the guy with no face.
Got it.
In my opinion, the most important thing is Google My Business. Get that up there and make sure you post as much as you can. I've been doing websites for about 20 years, so I see that works the best.
There's absolutely no doubt that Google My Business is such an important thing, and making sure that it's tied to a business address and not your residence. It's very, very important. And making sure that Google My Business isn't just a setup and forget it. You want to make sure that you're not just looking like that company that, again, set it up and went dormant or hibernated. You have to really, really continue to update your GMB. Really important to keep adding photos, add videos, add posts on there. It's really important to keep that going. Google loves that. YouTube does
Every
as
job,
well.
every job, and also ask for references. Ask for them for 5 stars. I mean, just all that kind of good stuff. And it really doesn't have to be a long website. It's got to be more. Today's attention is about 25 seconds, and it's video. So the more you can take your jobs and do Google My Business, you should be well off. My 2 cents.
100% great advice. And I think the other thing to take note here is that Google My Business is super important, works really, really well, but it's not where every single person goes. And so you really want to do it well in an omni-channel environment. You want to make sure that you have your website set up and tuned and looking nice and optimized. And you want your GMB to have that same kind of brand consistency. And then you want to make sure that your Instagram business profile is set up as well. It's incredible to see the number of stories that'll be seen. You start tagging pavement, and you start tagging different towns or cities and these kind of things in hashtags. Like, you'll start to see rolling that roll as well. Your Instagram professional profile as well, right? Your business profile is a really important one as well, to match up with property managers, and you start liking and you start engaging there, and you start posting things relating to that on your LinkedIn. And then we reach a point where it's like, okay, well, I need to do my YouTube channel as well and have that channel performing for me and optimized for my videos. And all of a sudden we're like, holy cow, I'm drinking from a fire hose and I've got to do this all on my own. How am I going to do this all? And how am I going to go sell the jobs and take care of my pipelines and do the pavement assessments and do all of this stuff? And it's like, you've got to really define what your talent map is here. Where are you really, really good? Where are you going to perform the best with your business? Where can you go hard and deep? And it's like, that for me is such an important thing in identifying where you might have some weaknesses or just not enough time. And that's where you need to find people to help you. And then a lot of us say, well, I don't have the investment to be able to have the people help me. And it's like, yeah, but you haven't even looked or had any conversations. So how do you even know? You can solve that problem for 50 bucks a month and you think it's $1,000 a month problem. You know, I can't answer all my calls. Of course you can answer all your calls. Like there's all kinds of solutions for all that stuff. But I think that's an important thing going into 2025. Maybe roll through the things that you're really strong at. What are my strengths that I know I want to go really hard on? What are my weaknesses? I think we can agree that there's some pillars that we have to think about. There's marketing, there's sales, there's operations, finance. Anything else? Did I miss one? Anyone? Culture, team, for owner. I don't know. I'm adding a fifth one in for fun. I'm just, you know, we're shooting darts at a board here together, right? Trying to get closer to the bullseye. But hopefully these notes will help. Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
It's a lot of Venn diagrams, right? Because there's admin in there, but admin and finance cross, sales and marketing cross. So, but you got the pillars.
Dylan, when you were building your business, what was the most challenging thing for you to go from, I guess, what was the differentiator? What was the key factor in taking it from a 6-figure to a 7-figure business? What were some of the most important things?
People. You know, when you go from, you know, mid-high 6 figures to 7 figures, you need operational people, you need sales people, but I think you also have to ask yourself where you're most valuable in the business, because I think you can get yourself pretty close to the $1 million mark, you know, with you kind of with your hands and everything, but you really have to take a step back when you kind of cross that 7-figure mark into where am I the most valuable? And you typically have to pick one of the streams, you know, be that operations, finance, or sales, business development type of area. And then you have to add people to sort of pick up the slack in the other areas. And to add people, you have to make sure that your culture is strong. And whether you like it or not, you know, culture starts and ends with the ownership and the executive team. So having a good idea of who you are and sort of the brand and the image and, you know, the values that you hold yourself accountable to, that's what you need to find when you're adding people. Because if you have people that don't share your values, you're not going to win together. You're going to lose together. So.
Agreed. Who here has their core values developed for their business? Raise your hand. Core values for the business. Does anyone on my team know core values off by heart that they could come on and share our core values? Matthias, are you searching? Robert, do you remember what they are? See, it's such an important thing, right? To practice those core values and to keep coming back to them, and remember that those are the guardrails, those are the rails that we stay on, right? To guide us back to the direction of continuing to fuel our culture with true excitement. Anybody want to know our core values? Come on. Anyone?
I got them if you will. I was going to say, I got them if you want them.
Read them out. Let's go for it.
Embrace positivity in all situations. Make helping people a passion. Strive to constantly improve ourselves. Act as a lighthouse and pay it forward.
Well done. Love it. Yep. I urge you guys to do that discovery. Dan Leoto, do you have your core values off by hand? I'm calling you clean out of that comfy chair right now. What are your core values? Do you have them handy?
Yeah, it's always adding value, transparency, and doing the best we can in all situations.
Anyone else have their core values? Bill, you've got your core values nailed? You're muted. You're muted.
I'll keep mine simple. Over deliver, under promise, and always exceed the expectation, and keeping a customer centric approach. And you know, just like that. That's it. Right now, like I know like there's other people, but since I'm I wear multiple hats. Me, the customers first, and everything else will follow. Exceeding the customer's expectations. Which will lead to referrals and more reviews and better marketing.
Awesome. Core values, by the way, the whole mission with core values is it sets the foundation to drive the culture of the organization. It attracts new hires, it attracts your internal team members, and attracts customers to you as well. I don't think any customer is going to have a complaint in seeing your About Us page and having core values on there, or core values that might be on someone's t-shirt that's operating in the field for you. Like, just some reminders here, right? When we hosted the Anguilla retreat a couple of weeks back here, we had discussions with people who have been in business for decades, literally 30 years in the business, and there were no core values. And he literally went back to put it everywhere, right? And it's pretty awesome to see how that excited someone who's been in business for 30 years to kind of reignite that fire. It's really, really kind of fun. Dan, you know who I'm talking about. I mean, there was a bunch of us, but Dylan, that was like watching them light up on that. Super cool.
You talking about gas cap or?
Yeah, exactly. Gas cap. But like, and just so we're aware, like the core values, the way that I and Dylan has them written down for the company there, but like in my head, I've memorized them in so many different ways because I have to operate from that foundation in order to truly be a culture ambassador. Inside of AK, like to be able to really, really keep our people excited and happy and loved and helped and to like really work on that, I have to practice it time and time again. So in my head, I spit it out as passionate about helping people, positive in all interactions, striving to be our best, lighthouse in all situations, and then pay it forward. And then, as you guys may know, like I'm tattooed down my left arm with a lighthouse. That's how much I believe in these core values. And some would say, you're nuts, man, like tattooing that. It's like, no, man, I want to be a lighthouse to my children. I want to be a lighthouse to my family, my friends, my team members, to you guys, to everyone. So if I have that on my forearm, I'm going to remind myself a lot more than if I didn't, right? So your core values, you should put some deep thought into that, and you should really get it on cards that you might put in your glove boxes, you know, put it in your office, have it in a frame and put a gold frame around it. Like that's genuinely something that's important. I call it the original, you know, the original heartbeat of the business. So don't let that evaporate. Take that advice. Trust me, core values.
Judd, can I say something?
Yes, of course, Chad.
I have this hockey stick hanging up in my office. It says, "You missed 100% of the shots you didn't take." Wayne Gretzky. That's hanging up in my office. And that drives me every day. And I went out with Rob McKenzie last weekend, had dinner, him and his better wife, and had a great time building relationships, hanging out with my buddies that we shouldn't be making friends with, but I'm doing it.
Building a life. I mean, you've got an incredible, inspiring journey. And it's exciting to see what's coming for you, man. I'm so excited for 2025. You had a great year, and now it's time for us to really crush 2025 together. It's go time. Any questions, guys? Open round table. We got 15 minutes left. Let's take advantage of it. Any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to share? Let's open it up.
I don't know if you can hear me or not, Judd.
Loud and clear.
So And you're probably not gonna like this critique or whatever, but I don't care. Because it'll make the company better. So you guys sell for the wand that edge it. Okay? That thing is awkward, heavy, and a miserable bitch if you're doing a lot. Okay, so I went and bought rollerblade wheels and drilled holes in them and made it easier to push. So in 6 months, everybody else listening, 6 months, they're gonna patent it and make billions of dollars off of it. Fine, don't care. But then this week we did 2.3 miles of roads in an HOA with driveway. And that edger works, fine, but there was landscaping around it. And Judd, I so much apologize to you. And the rest of y'all have probably figured this out. And Glenn, by the way, we're gonna talk. But anyway, $19.99. I went and bought a paint roller and a stick. And I sprayed our asphalt sealant in a paint pan and did the precise egging before we went and before we came in there with our boom and our sprayers and went to town. I'm sorry, Judd, you're gonna freaking not do any business with me anymore because of this.
I'm gonna fly to you, Jared, and I'm gonna teach you how to use that edger so that we don't have this problem again. I will.
No. I know how to use the edger. I've used it on several jobs. But when we're talking 10 driveways in 5 minutes, we gotta roll. Time is money.
Yeah, driveways. Yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't use
And
the
we're
edger
talking
on
up
driveways.
against garage doors and things, and so, sorry.
No seal coat edgers, everyone on here, no seal coat edgers on any residential jobs whatsoever, or any kind of small distances or corners or 90. No, this is like if you're going to be doing like a mile of road or 500 feet of a retaining wall that's in a lot on a Walmart or something like that, like anything that's long and distant, otherwise it's clunky. It's totally strange to use. It's not designed for small applications. Please don't do that. I agree.
Thank you. I agree 100%. You're exactly on base. But one of the guys that worked for me, he goes, why don't we just use a paint roller? I'm like, holy crap. Sorry.
Be cautious. No, you're good. Be cautious with the paint roller along the edges. From a texture perspective, you may want to try brushing along the edges and then spraying, just as a side note. Try it with a brush.
So what we did, Judd, and you're exactly right. You're exactly right. What we did, because if you do a roller, it dries so much quicker, which what's that? You're not getting a good coat.
Too thin, yeah.
So it's too thin. So we did 3 coats with that because we were staying ahead of my sprayer. So we had time for them to do 3 coats of that and then come rolling in with our boom system and just go rolling through. So everything was covered and safe and no vehicles, no doors, no nothing. Well, awesome. You know. So anyway, sorry. I'm sorry, Judd. I didn't mean to take over too much.
I love you, Jared. Brother, you don't have to be sorry ever. I can't wait to meet you in person. You better be coming to Pavex on January 28th. I want to see you in Chattanooga, Tennessee, man.
Come on, I'll be there.
Let's go. It's a big show. Pavex, write it down. We got to have you over there. We're going to have a big booth set up at Pavex, guys.
Oh, no, Judd, I'll be your biggest salesman. You know that.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm sorry. I promised Glenn I wouldn't be an idiot tonight. I lied again.
We love you. Matt Phillips, you're coming to Pavex.
Yeah.
Still working out the details. Yep.
Cool. Well, you better. Miss you, man. I want to throw you a Superman high five.
Nice.
Who else is coming to Paybacks? Anyone else coming to Paybacks? Dan Leotoad, you're coming to Paybacks in Chattanooga. You have no other choice.
For some reason, I thought it was Orlando, but yeah, I'll probably be there.
Cool. John, you coming? Mitty, you coming? Paybacks?
Not sure yet.
You guys have to come, man. Come on. It's going to be good.
Hey, Judd, I'll give a shout out, not to necessarily to Paybacks, but for any opportunity, especially you new guys and owners or whatever the case may be, to get out to Paybacks or World of Asphalt or, you know, whatever the case may be. If you could get out to these shows, just walking through the show gives you so many ideas for opportunity to improve your business and aha moments like, oh, I didn't know I could get that, or that's what that's for, or whatever. But when you see the different equipment and stuff in real time where you could touch it, feel it, instead of just seeing it online, it just is, it just makes your mind open up and the opportunity for business and improvement. So I try to attend them as often as I can, and even on my local level here, I'm part of the Asphalt Association. So if you're in a city or something, look for those groups, the home builders associations, or like for me, it's the Utah Asphalt Association. So I participate in their activities and training and stuff. You get to go tour a hot plant to see how hot asphalt's made and understand the training on that. So it's just continuing education to grow your business, to go from that 250,000 a year to 600,000 a year to 800,000 a year to 1.2 million a year. So that's been kind of my journey on this, and along the way you learn those things and it just improves you. So that's my 2-bit. I don't get any free passes or anything to Paybacks or anything. I'm just throwing it out there.
Become a master of your
They need to
craft,
do
right?
shit like that in Canada.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to host another roundup event up there, I think, Chad, at one point.
Yep. You're gonna have to do something, buddy.
You see what
We're due
happens
for
when
it.
see what happens when I open my big mouth? It's terrible. I end up putting myself in corners, right, Chad?
Well, you're gonna have to do another roundup then.
If it's up in Calgary, I'll go up to it.
Ah.
Oh, it's further than that.
That's where my wife's at. Is my wife's from Calgary, so we would go up there to Calgary.
Well, you can drive a little further and come right up to where I am, and I'll meet you.
My family would love to see me, Judd. So I'm always happy to go to Canada.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. See, we got it going already, Judd. Come on, Judd, bring her up to Dundas again. This time I'll bring the truck.
Rika's saying she'd go to Calgary as well. Yeah.
Same with me. I'm just 7 hours away.
You sure are. Well, this is an interesting moment. Well, we'll keep that on the dartboard, as we say, right? And first show is Paybacks. We are arriving in a couple days early. We're gonna go through some planning and stuff, but we have a great booth set up there. Hopefully, you guys can make it. There's just a fantastic list of exhibitors. There's going to be some great evenings, great dinners that are going on throughout that period, and a big after party at the end of it as well. So you'll meet all kinds of great people in the industry, and of course, you'll be able to see us too, which is the important thing. Cool, guys. We got 6 minutes left. We can't hear you, Jared. You out of there? You gone? You exiting? We appreciate everyone's input and the time that you guys put in here. It's super awesome. We're not going to be doing a round table next week.
Now I'm on. Hey, real quick, I've got to go. I've got to go watch a Christmas movie with my daughter. I want to wish all y'all, sorry, I'm from Texas, a Merry Christmas. Hey, 2025, we're all gonna go rock it, whatever your goals are. Whether it's 1 million or whether it's 100,000 or whether it's 10,000. We all can go out and do it. And if we need to team up and talk to people, talk to each other, we can do it and say, hey, what are you finding? What am I finding? What works for you? We're all gonna have a great new year. We're 2025, we're gonna kick butt, and Judd will help us.
See
I'm
you
out,
soon.
guys.
Have fun. Enjoy the Christmas.
Thanks, Jared.
Happy Christmas and
Yep,
happy New
y'all
Year.
have
man.
a great one.
You too,
See ya.
man. See ya. So, I think that what I want to say to you guys is this right now is that we're not going to be doing the round table next week because we will be, of course, enjoying some time down with the family and kicking back for a couple days. But what I do want you all to know is that we genuinely care about you guys. We don't take this lightly as it relates to pouring into you guys. We want the best for you all coming up in this new year, and we're here for you along the way. So if you have any questions for us, we're here for you. Don't hold anything back. Just come to us and we'll be happy to provide you with some great guidance and insights. There's an absolute wealth of knowledge within our company that we're willing to pour into you guys, and we don't need to monetize from it. We'd like to monetize, but we don't need to monetize. If we can point you in the right direction and we can help to solve some pain points or some challenges that you guys have, then we're going to do that for you. If you do want to interact and engage with us at a different level, we're here for you for that as well, and we're going to always do our best with you. I can guarantee that. We've had some really, really deep, strong discussions with our company. Our company has taken a massive turn over the last 5 years from basically being more of a transactional company to a really emotionally and strategically engaged company that's really trying to build as many $1 million companies as we possibly can in this industry. And so for us, that's our BHAG, our big, hairy, audacious goal is to build $100 million companies over the next few years. And we're going to hunt that. We're going to do the best that we can. So hopefully we get to do it with some of you guys. I know already we're doing it with a couple of people on here, but it'd be great to do with more of you, and we appreciate you. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year right here, same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable, everyone. Have a great rest of your holidays.
See you guys.
Thanks for jumping on, everyone. Good job, Judd.
Thank you. Good job. Thanks, Matthias.